Hi, I'm Bob Ryan. This is Globe 10.0. With me today is Christopher Gasper. Boston Bruins 2 points out of first place in the Eastern Conference. Had won 7 in a row, a little blip on the radar screen against Pittsburgh. Everybody's talking, Chris, about the defense, of course, and about the way they grind out the 2-1 games and blah, blah, blah. But one thing that's happened that's really stepped up lately is Milan Lucic has suddenly, well, not suddenly, he's begun to play the way that they thought he could play. He leads the team in goals for 28. He's really been a key in this resurgence.
Yeah, no question about it. I think, look, Bob, this is a guy who was bothered by injuries last year, huge expectations, all the comparisons to Cam Neely, which I think are unfair to both guys, but you do see elements of Cam Neely in his game. You do. Thursday night against the Lightning, gets in a fight with Eric Brewer, scores the game-winning goal. No. That's a Cam Neely sort of night, but he can't do it every night.
Came very close to the Gordie Howe hat trick, as we like to say that night. You know, the comparison was so obvious, and as long as people could keep that in balance, but they never do seem to, you know, Kirk Gibson, Mickey Mantle, you know, all that, you know, that stuff. It is deleterious, but we understand he's a big, strong kid who is a hitter and a goal scorer, so naturally he'd be playing on this Boston Bruins, you'd think of Neely. Obviously, let's get one thing straight. Cam Neely was an all-time great player, an all-time NHL player. This kid is making his mark, but he had the Neely, by the way, had the Neely imprimatur, you know, to a degree. But he is playing well. So what's going on here, do you think? Because is it just the injuries, or do you think
he's 22 years old?
Switch has gone on.
No, he's 22 years old. I think there were a lot of expectations for him, obviously, last year. I think you forget how young he is.
Yeah,
and again,
that's true.
I'm going to say it again. He's 22. Now, granted, when Neely was 22, he was scoring 42 goals. And he's a guy who scored 50 goals multiple times. The league has changed, and quite frankly, Lucic is not that talented.
Neely came here in a trade. So the other team wasn't totally convinced. I mean, it was a good trade. It was
heck of a trade.
Yeah, it was a good trade. Okay, but the fact is, you know, maybe they should have, you know, reconsidered the trade in retrospect. All right, the kid. One thing you talked about the mature. He is very well spoken. He comes off as mature. So that plays into this idea that what you were talking about is we forget how young he really is.
Yeah, you
because
do.
He sounds a lot more you know, responsible. You know, he sounds very responsible. Frankly.
No, he does. I mean, he's one of the leaders on that team. And again, I mean, last year he had some injury issues that slowed him down. I mean, think about the way people were talking about him last year, Bob. He never scored 20 goals in a season.
Yeah.
I mean, now he has 28. He's probably on his way to 30. He is, for my money, their best player.
Well, and he's come up at the right time. So keep that guy's name, Milan Lucic, on your radar screen. He's becoming a very important Boston Bruin.
Luch.